This is the BC Racing Infiniti G35. Since 2011, the G has been competing in Global Time Attack, Grid Life, and NASA. It's seen a ton of variations over the years, but the 2022 spec is the culmination of everything I've learned over a decade of campaigning the G35 at the highest levels of time attack in North America. So let's dive in. Starting on the front end, you can see we have a relatively simple aero package. The front splitter is about 5 inches. It features some Pro Awesome splitter tunnels. Nothing too crazy, pretty mild for time attack standards, but as you can see, we're trying to get as much airflow as possible into the Mishimoto dual pass race radiator and the oil and power steering coolers on the bottom side. One new but simple feature of the build is our quick remove front end. We designed it so the front clip of the car can come off with just 8 bolts on the frame rails. As you guys know, or may not know, we ditched the turbo VQ setup for a simple, naturally aspirated Chevy LS3 V8. Thanks to the ISR Performance LS swap kit, it was an absolute breeze to install. It's almost like it fits from the factory. Controlling the new LS engine, we have a Haltech 2500 ECU with their plug-and-play LS engine harness, controlling the 13:1 naturally aspirated LS3 build that utilizes some of the best parts in the LS world. From Cali's Crankstar crank and rods to Molle Power Pack pistons and Comp Cam's camshaft. Helping to extract the hot engine air, we rely on a vented Cybon carbon hood matched with custom Spage Sport fender extractors that helps pull trapped air out of the wheel well. Plus, they look damn good with the front aero package. Finishing off the front end is the vented fenders we designed a few years ago, letting out any remaining air that might be trapped behind the wheel that might not have gotten out through the fender vents. On the inside, not much has changed, but of course we have all the new wiring for the Haltech 2500 ECU and their harness. It's real simple. But coming to the other side of the car, one of my favorite new details of the build is the Renown and BC Racing custom suede steering wheel. And of course, I got number 44 out of 50 made. Sitting right behind the steering wheel is my AIM MXS dash, feeding the GPS lap data, and of course all the engine data while I race, keeping me honest as a driver and a mechanic. And last, but certainly most important, is my Sparco ADV Halo seat and 6-point harness, keeping me safe and secure at all times. Finishing things off on the top side of the G, our 12-gallon trunk-mounted fuel cell is full of VP Racing Fuel's Q16 fuel, and you guys know I love that, and it's fed by D-Twerk's fuel pump and inline filter. The rear aero in the car with the diffuser and wing package are the same we've run for the last few seasons, again designed with multiple rule sets in mind, with the wing being below the roofline and the diffuser being pretty simple. With as pretty as the top side of the G35 is, the underside might be even more impressive. Once again, thanks to the ISR Performance LS swap kit for the Nissan G and Z chassis. There's a great view of how involved the swap kit really is and the attention to detail ISR had in creating it. Having helped develop this prototype kit on the Enjuku 350Z over the last few years, it still blows me away how well the fit and finish is of the publicly available kit. One of the coolest features about this entire kit, I think, is the Canton oil pan. If you look at how well it fits up against the crossmember, it's like a glove. But the real meat and potatoes of the kit come into play when moving the transmission back a few inches to fit the new LS motor, without having to relocate the shifter inside the car or really do anything crazy. And ISR does this with their CD009 transmission adapter plate, combined with their custom flywheel and shift linkage adjustment, allowing for you to use your stock transmission with any LS. And quite possibly the prettiest thing on the entire car is the jet hot ceramic coated Isr Headers, exiting to a pretty rowdy open dump exhaust. Here you can also see we added to the ISR trans bracket by creating our own custom drive shaft loop, just for a little bit of extra safety. The final piece to the LS swap puzzle is solved by an aluminum one-piece drive shaft from ISR, connected to one of the single most important components on the car, and one of the rarest probably, the OS-Giken dual-core Japan spec differential. Had this for a few years since I used to crew in World Challenge, and I love this differential. SPL parts suspension arms and bushings connect the suspension to the chassis and then to the ground to provide a solid and durable chassis for all the abuse that we put these things in. I have had these same bushings and arms on this car for probably 8 years. they are awesome. All of these things combined help put the power to the ground via Hoosier slicks and custom BC forged RS40 18x11 wheels in my custom color, connected to the all-important BC Racing ZR Series 3-way coilovers, featuring separate high-speed and low-speed compression as well as a rebound, along with custom valving from the team at BC, gives me all the grip we ever need. This comes in really handy at places like Sebring, where it's really bumpy, or a place like Road Atlanta, where you jump in turn 3 or tracking out over the rumbles at 5. These things give you all the confidence in the world, especially when they're paired with the StopTech Trophy Big Brake Kit combined with G-Lock Racing brake pads. This combined gives me all the confidence at all of these crazy racetracks that we go to for time attack with really high speeds and hard braking zones. And that's it. That's the number 44 BC Racing G35 in all their glory. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors. I know we shouted out a bunch of them here, but we wanted to share what the build was. Can't do it without them. If you want to learn more about the build, go to apexgarage.com or follow us on social media at apex.garage, and we'll see you guys at the racetrack.